welcome to another awesome episode of Rub a Dub. I'll be your host, Rob. And for all you first timers, this show is basically about me talking to you about what's new, going on in the news, what's gwonnin', what's poppin', and more importantly, what's trending. In a spin I like to call Rabo Vision. Here goes. Story number uno. And there's this website called SPTV that actually allows you the opportunity to get a rare glimpse into North Korea television. Now, the broadcaster, his name is Lim Young Sung. He runs the website on a very shoestring budget, and he basically broadcasts for about 7 hours a day. How can this site relay broadcasting by commies so dauntlessly? And I'm just surprised that no one has decided to report it to security or possibly try to shut it down Lim's website. But it gives them a very rare view of North Korean leader Kim Jong-il for extolling his leadership and reports on military affairs in the secretive communist state. And news and other programs are heavy with detailed accounts of Kim's field trips to various factories, farms, and other military units, stinging commentaries attacking Seoul and Washington, and praising the virtue of hard work and blind allegiance to patriotism. You can't do blind allegiance as far as I'm concerned. That's just a no-go. It's stupidity to do that. Very robotic, just because there's such strict guidelines. The audience of SPTV seems to be mainly defectors and researchers of North Korea, studies, and sometimes South Korean college students. Lim relies on small monthly donations to basically make this whole thing work, and it's just quite scary that there is anything involving North Korea being broadcast on the internet because there's such serious. Story number two. It's actually kind of a sad story. There is this Belgian man, who I'm not trying to give any publicity to, is a sicko. He's disgusting, and hopefully he gets what's coming to him. But his name is Nordine Amrani, a 33-year-old Liege resident who had done jail time for offenses involving guns and drugs and been called in for questioning Tuesday in regards to a sexual abuse case in Belgium. Now, what did he do, you might ask? That's a very good question. But 4 people were killed, including an 18-month-old toddler, which is quite sad unto itself. And 122 were wounded in an assault Tuesday that brought tragedy to the pre-Christmas season of students reveling in their great exam grades and maybe thinking about how awesome it's going to be going back home to family. Authorities said the shooter also died, but they also were at close loss to explain the reason for the onslaught. The Prime Minister said it was not related to terrorism. It's almost like a homegrown terrorist that they're just trying not to label as a terrorist. It's just another sad point that there are a lot of people out there that try to spread their doom and gloom and their negative attitude to other people and are just sick people that are no good and a waste of human life. And the midday attack in eastern Belgium City sent hundreds of panicked shoppers stampeding down the cobblestone streets of the city, fleeing explosions and bullets, because this guy actually came in with 3 grenades, which is quite disgusting that he would actually throw grenades into a busy street in the middle of winter. And so many injuries, 122 reported. My thoughts and prayers go out to the Belgian families who are out there who are suffering the loss of family members at this very moment. Officials say Armani left his home with a backpack armed with hand grenades, a revolver, an FAL assault rifle. He walked alone in the busy Plaine Saint-Lambert, the central entry point to the downtown shopping streets. Then climbed onto an overpass that gave him an ideal view of the square, which was bed-decked with a huge Christmas tree and crowded with shoppers. From there, Armani lobbed 3 hand grenades into the central bus stop, which serves about 18,000 buses a day, and opened fire. And it's just tragic, a senseless crime. And I'm hoping Belgium has a death penalty, because there wouldn't be any right way to actually solve this. My final story of the day. A little bit earlier on, I did a story about the word of the year, but now I'll do a story of the 10 most overused LinkedIn profile buzzwords. In the near future, you're looking for a job and you want to put some very key and potentially helpful words to make sure that your resume flows instinctually into the column of possibly being hired. And that's where everyone wants to be, in that column. We got 10 awesome words that you should put on your resume. Here goes. Creative is number 1. Effective is number 2. 3, motivated. Number 4 is extensive experience. Number 5, problem solving. Number 6, track record. Number 7, innovative. And number 8, communication skills. Number 9, dynamic. And the last, and definitely not least word, on the LinkedIn website for people looking for jobs is interpersonal skills. So, if you want to get a job, or you just want a little bit of an edge and possibly having the heads up above your competition out there, try to use those 10 words and make sure you use them in proper sentences. Episode Tuesday, December 13th, 2011. You've been doing with the best. Keep on rocking in the free world while it's still free.